now on Patreon. Good morning, everybody. I hope you guys are doing well. In today's video, we're going to be shooting some expired Kodak Portra 160NC. And it's going to be in 220 format, which means we're going to be getting double the amount of frames that you normally would get. And I'm really excited about it. So in order to get the most out of it, we have to wake up super early and head out to the countryside of Connecticut. So we're going to do this just a little bit backwards. Before we talk about what 220 film is, I want to first talk about loading the film, because this building that we are in is super atmospheric. The fog is coming in, that beautiful early morning light. Really wanted to load my film and get some shots taken. The first thing that you want to do is open your film camera, and on the inside of that film camera door is a pressure plate. You want to make sure that you switch that pressure plate from 120 to 220, and it's pretty easy. All you have to do is press down on it, move it into the direction the arrow is pointing, then flip it over. If you forget to do this step, you're going to have a bad time, because your images are going to turn out super soft, almost as if you've missed focus, and they also may be heavily distorted. Luckily for me, I knew that I would forget, so I left a little note on the back of the film camera saying, "Don't forget to flip the pressure plate." With my camera loaded and the first frame just itching to be fired, I composed this first image with these nice shadows from the pillars. You get this nice little fog in the background. It's just kind of atmospheric. I really like this image quite a bit. And I played around with it. I tried to step back. I tried to go forward. I tried to go from the sides. And ultimately, this is the one that I decided on. I felt like these pillars and the little branch down there really didn't crowd the scene as much as I thought if I step back. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with this image. But with all that being said, I honestly don't want this video to be a giant how-to on shooting expired film or 220 for that matter. I will go into more details later on, but I really just want to let this scene and this location speak for itself. So for the next couple of minutes, I'm going to step away. I'm going to let you guys explore the building along with me and show you some of the images that I took. Kodak Portra is a super warm film, and even though it's expired, you would expect the film to be a little less warm, or at least to have some color shifts, but that warmth really shines through on this film, and I'm really happy about that, because the location that we were shooting in, the early morning light, was very, very warm, so it just sort of amplified it a little bit, and I really liked the look. You'll also note that there's a decent amount of grain in this film, and that's normally not the case with fresh Portra 160, but with expired film, you do tend to get a little bit more grain, a little bit more pronounced grain rather, and it really kind of lends its hand to the overall scene here. It's kind of a grungy, dirty old building, and the grain just sort of makes it feel a little bit more grungier. Feels like as good a place as any to take a shot right here. This looks great, but there are some clear hazards right over here. So real quick, I do want to talk about what 220 film is and the difference between 120 and 220. And essentially they're the exact same size, but manufacturers were able to remove the paper backing from 120, which allows you to put double the amount of film on a roll of 220. They do keep the paper leader and the paper end, making sure that your film is light tight. But yeah, there's really no big difference, except you're going to be getting double the amount of exposures that you normally would on a roll of 120. Even though you get double the amount of frames with this roll of film, I did want to be a little bit more choosy with my images, so I was trying to make intentional images today and not just try to, burn through a roll in one location. So I moved my way from this abandoned structure down to the riverside where there was some abandoned boats and some more abandoned buildings. And I gotta say, I'm pretty happy with the way those images turned out as well. This film just sort of worked all throughout the day. Boy, oh boy, is that a sight. I was just over in that building across the river, and you've got some abandoned boats here. You've got just a whole lot of abandoned junk, something I really wasn't expecting to find even all the way down the shoreline, but it's really, really interesting. It's getting nice and warm out. That cold, low air is starting to burn off, and nice and calm out here. The birds are chirping. The rain and some of the ice and snow still falling off some of the trees and melting off some of the buildings. It's just really incredible sounding out here, and trying to take stock of that as well as just what I'm getting visually, because it's pretty crazy. Now, when it comes to shooting expired film, everybody talks about the decade rule. What is it? And basically, it's really, really simple. All you do is overexpose for every decade that the film has been expired for. For example, this film expired in 2005, so typically it's 17 years. You'd probably err on the side of caution and shoot 2 stops over. I shot 1 stop over, and I'm really, really happy with the results. And maybe it's my naivete because I don't think 2005 was that long ago. But it was very, very long ago. But I said, heck it, no big deal. See what we get. And quite frankly, I'm incredibly excited about the results that I got because they're absolutely stellar. So that's going to wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, hanging out at this abandoned place all day long. It was a fun little video to make, that's for sure, and it was a lot of fun to take some images around. But in honor of just how good this film turned out, I want to give away a 4x6 print. So in order to get it, all you need to do is comment your favorite image in the timestamp in the comment section, and I will pick a random winner to give away. It doesn't matter if you're in the US or the UK, Africa, Antarctica, it does not matter. I will send it out to you free. No worries. Just go ahead and comment below of your favorite image and I'll send it out to you. But yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys all in the next one. Bye. Man, I just made a real jerk of myself. I just tried to walk across this. It's literally like this deep, but I didn't know that it was filled with mud that was probably about a foot deep. My whole foot is just covered. Not wet though. And it just made for some great images, hopefully some great images, because I don't know what I'm going to get out of this roll of 220. You guys probably already know. I don't. And the more that I'm hanging out here and the more that I'm photographing things, the more that I'm starting to think a little bit about maybe a bigger project around this area, because it's just so interesting and unique and, man, really, really pretty.